Hey, hey. All right. So here we go. Aries, before we get started, this can specific message. Yesterday, I just took a little bit of time and sat down, and whatever popped into my head, I jotted down. And Aries, I started out with seeing somebody's ankles or feet. Then it was like, I don't know if somebody's wearing like a puka shell necklace or like, like one of the more like rattan or cloth kind of like natural fiber type necklaces with some kind of a pendant. Like it seemed very much more like I said, more natural style pendant or necklace. And then I saw somebody who was busy slicing bread, like a big rustic loaf of bread, and they were slicing pieces of bread. I don't know if they were making a sandwich or, just like garlic toast or what. And then I saw strip lighting, like somebody who had like the little tiny like LED lighting. And I don't know if it was either like, people put it on the underside of a car, but to me first it was like in somebody's like living room or something up in the corner. And then I saw somebody writing in a pen with like colored ink, and it seemed like it was probably pink. It wasn't like red. It wasn't like somebody was, checking somebody's homework assignment or anything. It was more like pink or something, like a gel pen or something. So with all that in mind, I just wanted to kind of start our storyline with some little specific details. Those just could be specific to Aries or the person Aries is dealing with. But start with the Seven of Swords. It's not the greatest way to begin. Then we have this Wheel of Fortune, and we have the Star. Okay, so first off, strong Aquarius. We also just brought in some Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We also brought in a little bit of Taurus, a little bit of Scorpio, and a little bit of Leo in this. Somebody's lying. We may have somebody lying, acting like, oh, this was so great. Everything went according to plan or is going according to plan. This is just the perfect time. Everything's going to work out great. This is just the way I wanted it to go. Now, I don't know in what capacity this person is lying. Are they lying to Aries? Are they lying to themselves? We have Knight of Cups sideways. Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody is overselling like what their life circumstances look like right now. Four of Swords. This could be somebody lying, acting like they're over Aries, and they are anything but. Are they acting like their life is perfect? They've moved on? That is not true. With the Four of Swords, this person's like, maybe this face that they show is like, oh, every day, everything's so great, everything's so perfect, everything is so right on. And then in fact, they're like, is this all because Aries has stopped talking to them? Is that what this boils down to? Is Aries not saying word one to them? Seven of Wands, they can't even get to Aries. Okay, so big blockages here. And they don't know how to unblock it. They don't know how to get Aries to talk to them again. Oh gosh, the Tower. They would give anything to actually, okay, here's the first problem though. They're lying about like everything's fine, everything's going to be fine, and either I can move on and it doesn't matter, when really they're like desperately trying to figure out how can I get to talk to Aries again? How? Will we be able to shake this up? Will I be able to talk to Aries again? We have a Four of Cups in the reverse. I mean, this is Aries with the Tower. It's weird because they act like they're lying in so many different ways. They can't get to Aries. They act like that's fine. Then they also act like it's just going to be a little while and then we'll be back together and there's nothing to be disappointed about. But in fact, Aries is somewhere like off grid, totally out of their lives at the moment. And this person, I kind of think they're going crazy, is what this seems like. I kind of feel like they're going crazy. We got Knight of Swords. We got the Hermit. Yeah, I feel like this person is kind of a mess of emotions right now. This is somebody roller skating like during a tornado. And then we've got, the Hermit. Hermit energy is, very internally and kind of like quietly, moving on. I would say that's more like the way I see Aries in this story. Ace of Swords and the Sun. Yes, I have to say things ended really suddenly, and I feel like they're still reeling from it. This is somebody that Aries might have cut out of their life very suddenly. And Aries is focusing more on solo energy, silence, healing, and like looking toward their life without this person in it. And Aries is planning a happy future and is planning on moving onward. And I don't see that working so well for them. But this happened so suddenly that I feel like they still are trying to like either be in denial about it. Okay, Three of Swords. We have two people here. This might be a very big breakup and a very big heartbreak for everyone involved, even though it seems like this might be more on Aries' side. Aries is the one who moved on from them. Page of Pentacles. Were they not very mature? Is that why this thing ended? Were they having immature communication, immature conversation, and Aries is like, I gotta go. This is not grown up enough for me to stick around for. And it's a damn shame. It's a crying shame because I wanted it to be more than this. This could have been like either a long distance relationship. Maybe this, I don't know if this person spent more time like looking good, roaring around on their motorcycle, still hanging with a lot of friends instead of like building a relationship. If they spent all their money just on their own hobbies and things and didn't really think about it as like a connection, a relationship, no matter what age this person is, they perhaps weren't really emotionally mature enough for this connection, but they're acting like everything is great the way it all works out. Like this is somebody who seems unflappable. I almost feel like they're this real easygoing, like everybody probably likes this person. They seem like they're real chill, but they just kind of live in their own little silo where they do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do it. But they're very likable. But I think in a relationship, they weren't really mature. And I think Aries just basically closed this down. And they don't quite know what to do about it. They're acting like, it should be fine because most things don't get under their skin. I think that this person bobs along in life. But this bobbing along isn't working right now. This is really not working out. We've got Wheel of Fortune upright. I'm going to say it was the right time for Aries to exit stage left because this person didn't seem to be taking life very serious. Maybe this is a big lesson in realizing that if you want something, you really need to go after it. You can't just bob along and think that relationships take no effort or that, things in life, you don't have to actually show up. I almost wonder if this is somebody who was so used to just like maybe getting by on their charm, their good looks, and they're like, oh, life just works for me. And it's like, yeah, but it doesn't work. Relationships don't work without you actually putting effort in. That's how this comes across. This is somebody like you can't dislike this person. There's nothing mean about this person. There's nothing bad about them. They just seem so mellow. But I think that they got by on a lot of charm for a long time. And I just don't see that this is working out between Aries and this person, because I think Aries is like, no, I actually want something more stable, somebody who has more intentions for where we're going, somebody who plans things with me. I basically want somebody that I stand beside, especially when life gets tough. I want somebody who stands for something. We have an Eight of Pentacles and we have a Four of Cups. This Eight of Pentacles and Four of Cups is very much about, like what we work toward and work on. And I have to say, maybe this person also didn't see the importance of like having a job and having enough money to be able to like contribute. Like Aries might have been like, look, how am I supposed to move in together with you when you don't have a job? And it doesn't matter if you don't have a job because it's always just been you kind of like couch surfing and, like you didn't think about the necessity of like being consistent. So therefore, if you're not going to be consistent in any area of life, how are we going to have consistency? It's a disappointment, but you have to work for things in this lifetime. Again, they've got this motorcycle. I feel like this person really likes cars, motorcycles. They like what they like, but I wonder if they are kind of, they could still be living in glory days, or like I said, they're getting by on charm. But it doesn't seem like this person has yet recognized that they're a grown-up. Right? Even here, there's a picture of them in the same blue shirt as a kid. And then here they are in this life as a kid. They seem like a great, sweet person who hasn't realized that they're an adult. and that in the adulting world, there's a lot of adult stuff that we do have to, put energy into. So that seems to be why Aries walked away. This is not a villain. And this is not somebody that doesn't care about Aries. It's just they haven't grown up yet. We have a 5 of Wands. Aries is like, I know, that's why it kills me, because there's so much about this person that's great, and then there's so much that drives me nuts, and I don't want to become a parent in a relationship. That's not how it's supposed to be. And it's going to make me mad, and it's going to make me a version of myself that I don't want to be. So it's more like Aries had I think, the intellect to say, I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody who's not a grown up, because it would make me feel like I'm the only grown up, and I'm going to be mad, and then I'm going to be overthinking stuff, and I'm not going to put myself through it. I'm sorry, I know this sounds a little bit harsh, maybe the way I'm describing this, but it was the right time for Aries to move on from this person for all those reasons. Even though, yep, this person is still someone that if they ever grow up, for sure, Aries would still be interested. I wonder if I don't know, this is like, we have number 25 right here. I don't know if that's somebody's like racing number, maybe they race bikes or motorcycles or something. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean it's immature. But let's say it was when they were a kid, they were number 25 when they raced, bicycles, and that's fine. They can still do that as an adult, but they also still have to do the adult world. But it's like this person only has, their kind of glory days, but those glory days might have been a long time ago, back when they were a kid. And it's like you have to move beyond that and do other things too. I know this just feels like Aries has to move on for right now. I don't even know that this says that it's not still possible for this relationship to come back around at some point. But by the way, Aries might have some kind of they could be an artist themselves. They could be somebody who has a very youthful spirit, very so many things might have attracted Aries to this person. Like if Aries has a sense of adventure, if Aries likes to go out camping, if Aries likes to, have a creative mind and they paint and they do all kinds of stuff. I could see that Aries inner child and creative spark would match so beautifully with this person's. But we also have more that needs to occur, more grown-up stuff that needs to occur. We have the 6 of Wands. The 6 of Wands is very much yes, there could still be success here. There absolutely could. But for right now, it's time for Aries to have some success. And that is exactly what they're doing. They are looking forward, because I kind of think this became an albatross around Aries' neck. Knight of Cups, upright. If this, I don't think Aries can do an indecisive knight. Yeah, Ace of Cups. Aries is if that person ever wants to fully engage in the adult world and they pursue me as an adult and they show me love, this could work. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have success with somebody who can do all those things. Maybe it'll be them, but if not, that's okay, because it'll be somebody else. I really think Aries appreciated and adored this person for all the right reasons, but they also know better than to, say, well, this person has great traits, but they don't have the maturity, but I'll just go ahead and deal with it anyway. Aries is no, there's other people that will be more prepared, more ready. It's just interesting that this person keeps imagining, this sideways Knight of Cups keeps imagining that this is all going to work out. It's fine. And even if Aries and I aren't together, it's fine, but it really isn't. They're not happy. Look, that might be enough motivation for them to say, you know what, maybe I do need to mature some. Maybe I do need to deal with stuff a little bit differently. This could be a turning point for them, but I will say in this storyline, we don't know what they're going to do. We only see that for Aries making the choice to move on from somebody who is not showing up with maturity. I think that's the relief in this. Let me just ask, what are they possibly going to do in regards to Aries? Keep lying to themselves. 7 of Swords again. Nurturer of Coins. 4 of Coins. Any way we slice it, they kind of keep telling themselves, I'm going to hear from Aries pretty soon. Aries likes to give to me. They're just holding back for right now. Or the longer I wait, I know Aries will want to nurture this connection again. This is actually Queen of Pentacles here. It feels like, I don't know if they also have they could have a mother figure who could be I don't know if they were raised by like an only parent who overly doted on them and gave them this really false sense that like you're the greatest, you're the bestest. And if Aries doesn't see that about you, let them come crawling back. I think that somebody's giving them some poor advice. Like keep holding back and Aries will come to you because you're the best. And it kind of feels like somebody's not giving them genuine feedback that, well, you know, you need to mature or Aries isn't going to want to be with you and you're the one who has to grow. It feels to me like we may have a meddling, like over the top, you know, like a supportive parental figure, perhaps mother figure, who's not giving them decent feedback and helping them to actually grow. Sorry. I'm sorry, this was a tough one. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for right now.